they become miniature computers that sit in our hand. That has been because of smartphones, because of better browsers, and all these trends combined together have enabled really a brand new, exciting kind of world that we live in. The mobile internet in particular has really started to happen. What we've seen in the last year and a half is an explosion of usage of the internet on mobile devices. Now, why? Why has the internet become so much used on these mobile devices? Well, there's many different reasons, but one reason that we've seen a worldwide explosion of usage of mobile phones has been because of simpler data plans. Let me give you this example. In green, this is a small carrier in the United States. This carrier only has 5 million subscribers. The carrier on the bottom has 10 times the number of subscribers, 50 million subscribers. And the chart shows internet usage as measured by people coming to Google. Now, why is it that a carrier that only has 1/10 the number of users has so much greater usage? Why do you think? Well, the answer is very simple. This particular carrier, Metro PCS, has introduced a very simple data, a flat rate data plan for their consumers. And because it's flat rate and easy to understand by consumers who use the internet. It's just not that carrier either. It's not something that's just in the US. In this case, this is a Chinese carrier. And you can see here the tremendous growth. You can see at the start of every month, you see these huge spikes in internet usage because it's available and it's becoming less expensive. We saw this in India as well, where Airtel and Aircel have offered very low rate data plans and internet usage has dramatically spiked with that. So, one more very important point to make about usage. When we look at the mobile marketplace, we discovered that it's not just about units sold in the marketplace, but about usage. So for example, there are some brands of mobile phones that have shipped millions and millions and millions of handsets. There are other phones that have not had that many sales, or maybe a smaller amount of units. But when we analyze the internet usage, some of these phones that have smaller amounts of sales, of units in marketplace, have dramatically greater usage. Which phones are these? These are the smartphones. So if you look here, this is Android and the iPhone. And you can see the Android and the iPhone, these smartphone categories, and the Palm Pre, really comprise more than half the market. And that's because these phones have a better experience, they have a better browser, a better internet browser, and that encourages usage. While some of these other phones, we have not seen that same kind of explosion, but we know we will. As these other phones come with better browsers and consumers can get to a flatter data plan, a simpler to understand data plan, we know we'll see the same upward in usage. Now, let me step back and also just talk about the mobile phone. You know, we think something very significant is happening. If you think about the phone, it has a number of attributes. Right? Every mobile phone is the same. A mobile phone has a camera. It has a microphone. Many of these mobile phones have touch screens. They have many other attributes. But if you look at the attributes just by themselves, they're not that impressive. This has a camera. But this camera is not as good as all the cameras you see here. This camera is not as good as the camera you had 10 years ago. The microphone on this device is not a very good microphone. Right? The microphone is something that maybe we had better technology 10 years ago. But in other ways, this is much better. Why? Because this is a computing device that is connected to the cloud. And because it's connected to the cloud, why we can take that camera and connect it and do amazing things. We can connect that microphone and turn it into an ear. In fact, that's exactly what Google has been working on. And one thing that we demonstrated last year, and made available last year on one Python, if you could switch to, thank you. So this is an iPhone, and I'm running the Google mobile app. You can see it's just Google mobile app available on the laptop. And I'm going to demonstrate voice recognition on this device. Now, I'm not going to press a button. I'm simply going to take the phone and I'm going to take the phone, I'm going to bring it to my ear without pressing any buttons. And on the iPhone, it will automatically start up because we use the accelerometer to detect that you have brought it to your ear. And then I'll say something, and it'll recognize what I say. So watch this. Best Italian restaurant in Schenectady, New York. Okay, let me try that without the microphone in my face here. Best Italian restaurant in Schenectady. Best Italian restaurant in Schenectady, New York. So what's happening is the reverb from the microphone is picking up. But you can see right at the top how quickly it's able to pick up whatever I'm saying. In fact, I'm going to try a little bit of a longer prayer. Let me try something like pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. Pictures of Golden Gate Bridge. And you'll note how fast that works. Right? In under 1 second, it got it. So that's something that we developed and made available last year, and it has been fantastically successful. Now, we're going to do two things. Before we make our announcement, I'm going to have our senior product manager, who's responsible for recognition work, talk to you a little bit about how does this magic happen. And then we've got something very exciting to show you. So let me introduce Gumi. Gumi,